Still on China, what started as a small vigil in Shanghai last weekend by fewer than a dozen people grew into a rowdy crowd of hundreds hours later. The November 26 protests in Shanghai weren't the first or the largest, but were notable for the bold calls for change in China's leadership, the most public defiance of the ruling Communist Party in decades. Thousands of demonstrators representing organized labor marched in South Korea's capital, denouncing government attempts to force thousands of striking truckers back to work after they walked out in a dispute over the price of freight. Meanwhile, a spokesperson for the Confederation of Trade Unions, Han Sang-jin, has accused the government of treating truckers unfairly. The world's largest volcano continues to ooze rivers of glowing lava. The Mauna Loa awoke from its 38-year slumber on Sunday, causing volcanic ash and debris to drift down from the sky. America's newest nuclear stealth bomber made its debut after years of secret development and is part of the Pentagon's answer to rising concerns over a future conflict with China. The B-21 Raider is the first new American bomber aircraft in more than 30 years. Almost every aspect of the program is classified.
So as the United States continues to innovate, this bomber will be able to defend our country with new weapons that haven't even been invented yet. And the B-21 is multifunctional. It can handle anything from gathering intel to battle management to integrating with our allies and partners. And it will work seamlessly across domains and theaters and across the joint force.
French President Emmanuel Macron visited Louisiana, the American state most closely aligned historically with his country, to celebrate their long-standing cultural ties and discuss energy policy as well as climate change. The president was greeted by musical performers as he stepped off the plane in New Orleans and danced with them alongside his wife, Brigitte Macron. More than 2,000 experts wrapped up a week of negotiations on plastic pollution to address what even industrial leaders in plastic say is a crisis. It was the first meeting of a United Nations committee set up to draft what is intended to be a landmark treaty to bring an end to plastic pollution globally. The Biden administration placed a well-known Russian paramilitary organization on a list of religious freedom violators alongside a number of notorious terrorist organizations. The State Department has designated the Wagner Group as an entity of particular concern for its activities in the Central African Republic. Also on the list are Afghanistan's Taliban, Nigeria's Boko Haram, Somalia's Al-Shabaab, and two factions of the Islamic State group. Satellite images released by Maxa Technologies show the difference at sites in Mariupol between March and November of this year. One image shows the construction of a Russian military facility between that time frame, while another shows the destruction and later complete demolition of a residential apartment building in the district. Hundreds have taken to the streets in Huanta in Peru, burning local attorney offices in protest over the death of a young man, an 18-year-old named Daniel, who was found dead days after going missing. Several suspects were questioned by police, and according to reports, the protest started as suspect was released. And here we slip into a very short break. But in news that we're tracking throughout the day and more, a high-stakes fight and a litmus test as the AAP Party and the BJP fight it out amid the bitter tussle that we've seen and a series of controversies. As India marks Navy Day mega celebrations in Visakhapatnam today, all the updates here on Republic. Stay with us.
आज के दिन जब दिल में दर्द है अपने जवानों की शहादत पर, उसी के साथ साथ जब ये नारे गूंजते हैं तो एक सुकून है, एक हिम्मत है।
मैं इस वक्त जाफराबाद में मौजूद हूं और आप मेरे पीछे देख सकते हैं कि यहां पर फोर्स डिप्लॉयड है। कोशिश ये है पुलिस कर्मियों की, अर्धसैनिक बलों की कि यहां पर किसी तरह का कोई दंगा ना भड़क पाए।
तो आपको लगातार बता रहे हैं कि किसान कानून वापस हुए हैं और किसान कानून वापस होने के बाद सीधे किसानों के बीच पहुंची हूं और किसानों से ही बात कर रही हूं। शाहीन बाग पर बुलडोजर चलेगा। शाहीन बाग को लेकर जो राजनीति गरमाई रही वो और ज्यादा गरमाएगी, ये बिल्कुल तय है।
What is it that is unique about your father's story to build the largest logistics company?
99% in the movie, it is a real-time story what has happened with us in our life. That's what been captured.
Why should a young person watch this film?
All the youngsters out there, they want to be an entrepreneur just in overnight. मतलब वो shortcut देख रहे हैं. Any business for that matter or any work for that matter और success आपको overnight नहीं आती. This is that film.
Pakistan that would boast to the Chinese and tell them that, we can guarantee you absolute peace in Afghanistan, build the China-Pakistan economic corridor right through the heart of Afghanistan. But in the last 1 year, more than 300 Pakistani soldiers and policemen have been killed by various factions of the Afghan Taliban and also the fearsome terrorist organization, the Tehreek-e-Taliban Pakistan. Today, Pakistan is suing for peace.
A high voltage battle which will decide the nation's political trajectory. Who will break their records and which faces will be the winners? 89 out of the 182 seats go to polls. Stay tuned to India's
Hello and welcome to another edition of Superfast 50. I'm Rukma with you, and as always, this is your window to the top stories you should be knowing this morning. So let's begin. Former Congress MP V.S. Ugrappa on Friday called Prime Minister Modi Bhasmasura just days after his party chief Mallikarjun Kharge described the Prime Minister as Ravana. Even in 2020, Ugrappa created a controversy calling Prime Minister Modi a Bhasmasura and Union Minister Amit Shah Shani.
I made it very, very clear, because of his policies and programs, many things are destroying. That is why I have used that he is a Adunika Bhasmasura. Even when I was in parliament, I had used he is a Adunika Duryodhana. Because of his arrogancy, because of his attitude, I have no grounds against him.
And the BJP on Saturday said that using abusive words against Prime Minister Narendra Modi has become a new normal for the Congress. BJP spokesperson Sambit Patra cited reports of Karnataka Congress leader V.S. Ugrappa calling Modi Bhasmasur, a demon in Indian mythology, to hit out at the opposition. He noted that it comes close on the heels of Congress President Mallikarjun Kharge throwing Ravan barb at the Prime Minister.
जब मौत का सौदागर कहा जाता है, दुर्योधन कहा जाता है, कॉकरोच कहा जाता है, चोर कहा जाता है और उसके बाद रावण और भस्मासुर कहा जाता है, तो ये कोई इत्तेफाक नहीं है। ये एक डिजाइन है जो कांग्रेस पार्टी प्रधानमंत्री जी के खिलाफ बार बार कर रही है, एक गुजराती के खिलाफ बार बार कर रही है।
The social media handle operated by Lashkar has once again issued threats to Kashmiri Pandits, employees in Kashmir under PM rehabilitation package. The terror group has released a list of 56 Kashmiri Pandit employee names that are on their target. Gujarat government has filed an affidavit in the top court supporting pleas seeking stringent laws on religious conversions. The Gujarat government says it has passed the law to stop religious conversion in the state. The affidavit also says that the right to freedom of religion does not include fundamental right to convert other people by force. The high-stakes municipal corporation of Delhi polls is all set to commence in a few moments from now. It's largely a three-way contest between the Aam Aadmi Party, the BJP and the Congress, in which 1,349 candidates are in the fray. The BJP on Saturday has claimed that the Aam Aadmi Party used the Delhi excise policy to receive kickbacks, and Deputy Chief Minister Manish Sisodia, who was instrumental in framing it, will face the music and the law. Chief Minister Arvind Kejriwal and his deputy have been weaving stories through press conferences, said the BJP, to spread a lie that there was no scam in the implementation of the excise policy and that Sisodia was innocent, alleged BJP national spokesperson Sambit Patra.
मनीष सिसोदिया जी का दिल्ली एक्साइज पॉलिसी में इतना बड़ा हाथ है कि केवल हाथ ही नहीं है, सर भी है, हाथ भी है, पैर भी है, और पैसा उनके उधर में गया है तो पूरा शरीर इन्वॉल्व्ड है. ही इज नॉट जस्ट नेक डीप, he is completely into the corruption of Delhi excise policy, and that's the reason as to why some amount of time has lapsed into investigation.
Ahead of the Bengal Panchayat polls, a bomb explosion was reported at TMC leader Rajkumar Manna's residence in West Bengal's Bhupati Nagar. At least 3 people lost their lives in the explosion while several remain injured. After the explosion at the TMC leader Rajkumar's residence, which claimed the lives of 3 people, leader of the opposition in the West Bengal Legislative Assembly, Suvendu Adhikari, made a big charge. He claimed the TMC leader makes explosives at his residence. The high-voltage campaigning for the second and final phase of the Gujarat Assembly elections ended at 5 p.m. on Saturday. 93 seats go to the polls on Monday in the state.
आप ये समझ रहे हैं कि उनको अच्छा बुरे की तमीज़ नहीं है, बिल्कुल उनको अच्छा भी जानते हैं, अपना बुरा भी जानते हैं और इसलिए अपनी पसंद का इजहार करेंगे. तो जनता तय करेगी कौन किस वोट देगी नहीं देगी. हम 13 सीट पर लड़ रहे हैं, हम उसी पर फोकस करे हुए हैं. अब दूसरा क्या होगा मुझे नहीं मालूम, मैं कोई सेफोलॉजिस्ट या जोशी तो नहीं हूँ.
Sparking a big controversy, Congress Jammu and Kashmir chief Russell Wani ran down the 3rd highest civilian award, the Padma Bhushan, calling it a choti baat. The controversial statement was made by Wani to attack Padma Bhushan recipient Ghulam Nabi Azad, who, as we all know, has just recently dumped the Vadra Congress. In his first reaction to Congress Jammu and Kashmir chief Russell Wani's insult to the Padma Bhushan award, former Congress senior leader Ghulam Nabi Azad said that people are unaware about the importance of the award, and this is the reason why they make such meaningless comments. After Jammu and Kashmir chief Russell Wani ran down the 3rd highest civilian award in India, the Padma Bhushan, Ghulam Nabi Azad's party wrote to the president stating that the Congress had insulted awardees. After the Congress, the National Conference too has hurled muck at the Padma Bhushan, with Sheikh Bashir, National Conference Provincial Secretary, saying the government has belittled the importance of the awards. A big political fight has come out after the Congress's Rahul Gandhi attempted to launch an attack on the BJP and the RSS, saying that they chant Jai Shri Ram and not Jai Siya Ram because they do not respect Sita. Responding to Congress leader Rahul Gandhi, who at a rally in Madhya Pradesh on Friday criticized the BJP and the RSS, saying they say Jai Shri Ram and not Jai Siya Ram because they do not worship Sita, BJP responded saying elections Hindus don't believe in Ram must not give lectures. Telangana Chief Minister's daughter K. Kavitha has been summoned by the Central Bureau in connection with the liquor policy case. However, she has now sought copies of all complaints prior to making her appearance. The Shiromani Akali Dal leader Bikram Majithia has claimed that the conviction of Goldie Brar has not been arrested in the United States and has sparked controversy. Ahead of the second phase of Gujarat polls, the AIMIM is facing internal revolt as former leader of the party has now spoken about internal strategies and is claiming that AIMIM has had dealings to not win but cut into votes, and hence not too much of a push is being given to MLAs of the party. The Indian Navy is all set to demonstrate India's combat prowess and capability through an operational demonstration at Visakhapatnam today. This is the first time that Navy Day celebrations are happening outside New Delhi. Pakistan's new army chief has provoked India as he visited the LOC. Says Pakistan armed forces are ready to take the fight back to the enemy. Agency sources foresee a false flag operation. In a big development on the Mangaluru blast probe, Karnataka police have formally handed the case over to the NIA. Now, meanwhile, bomber Sharik has given a statement to the cops on his funding. He was quizzed by the NIA on the same. As the Mangaluru blast probe widens, Republic TV has now accessed the NIA's FIR copy, which states that bomber Sharik planned multiple murders with explosives, and these have been recovered from his residence. Mangaluru blast accused Sharik has now been booked under the Explosives and UAPA Act. This comes after explosives were recovered from his residence in Mysuru in Karnataka. A massive protest was staged by students of Hyderabad University after an alleged case of molestation against a faculty member. A student belonging to Thailand studying in the same college alleges that a professor tried to molest her. A complaint was lodged against the faculty, after which he was taken into custody. Mega SI raids are underway across 12 locations in Kashmir. The raids are being carried out in Srinagar, Bandipora, Budgam, Kupwara and a few other districts. And the Chief of Naval Staff flagged off a mega bike rally in the national capital. This comes after Indian Navy bikers team embarked on a 1,500-kilometer running expedition through 7 northeastern states. Shocking details have emerged from Shraddha's killer Aftab's narco test. Aftab allegedly has revealed that he used Chinese weapons and a saw to chop Shraddha's body into 35 pieces. The war of words between the Aam Aadmi Party and the BJP does not seem to be stopping even a day before the MCD polls, with the BJP hitting out over Delhi's deteriorating air quality, saying that the national capital has become a gas chamber again.
Delhi has become a gas chamber. It has become a health hazard. It has become a red level emergency for anybody breathing this toxic air. But Mr. Kejriwal will blame centre, will blame Diwali, will blame other factors, will blame farmers. Now you have a government in Punjab, but you still could not control parali burning, even though Haryana government could. But the main causes of pollution of Delhi lie within Delhi itself. On this, in the last 8 years, except for giving empty promises, Mr. Kejriwal has done nothing. Now he'll come and play another victimhood card, blame everybody, but will not take ownership of what we have to go through in Delhi because of his failures.
After the BJP attack, AAP too hit back, saying that the BJP, which has been in power at the MCD for 15 years, has turned the country's capital into a pile of garbage. Another alleged case of casteism has now emerged from Karnataka's Kolar, where a 22-year-old Dalit man allegedly died by suicide after he was tied to a tree and assaulted by upper caste men for overtaking their vehicle. After the incident, the man was found dead, allegedly after he committed suicide. Local Chinese authorities have announced a further easing of COVID-19 curbs, with major cities such as Shenzhen and Beijing no longer requiring negative tests to take public transport. Capital Beijing earlier said that negative test results are also no longer required for public transport from December 5th. What started as a vigil in Shanghai last weekend by fewer than a dozen people has grew into a rowdy crowd of hundreds hours later. The November 26 protests in Shanghai were not the first or the largest in China, but were notable for the bold calls for change in China's leadership, the most public defiance of the ruling Communist Party in decades. Thousands of demonstrators representing organized labor marched in South Korean capital Seoul, denouncing government attempts to force thousands of striking truckers back to work after they walked out in a dispute over the price of freight. Meanwhile, a spokesperson for the Confederation of Trade Unions, Han Sang-jin, has accused the government of treating truckers unfairly. The world's largest volcano keeps oozing rivers of glowing lava. The Mauna Loa awoke from its 38-year slumber on Sunday, causing volcanic ash and debris to drift down from the sky once again. America's newest nuclear stealth bomber made its debut after years of secret development as part of the Pentagon's answer to rising concerns over a future conflict with China. The B-21 Raider is the first new American bomber aircraft in more than 30 years. Almost every aspect of the program is classified. French President Emmanuel Macron visited Louisiana, the American state most closely aligned historically with his country, to celebrate their long-standing cultural ties and discuss energy policy as well as climate change. The president was greeted by musical performers as he stepped out of the plane in New Orleans and danced with them alongside his wife Brigitte Macron. More than 2,000 experts wrapped up a week of negotiations on plastic pollution to address what even industry leaders in plastics say is a crisis. The first meeting of a UN committee set up to draft what is intended to be a landmark treaty to bring an end to plastic pollution globally. The Biden administration has placed a well-known Russian paramilitary organization on a list of religious freedom violators alongside a number of notorious terrorist organizations. The State Department has designated the Wagner Group as an entity of particular concern for its activities in the Central African Republic. Also on the list are Afghanistan's Taliban, Nigeria's Boko Haram, Somalia's Al-Shabaab, and two factions of the Islamic State group. Satellite images released by Maxar Technologies show the difference at sites at Mariupol between March and November of this year. One image shows the construction of a Russian military facility between that time frame, while another shows the destruction and later complete demolition of a residential apartment building in the district. Hundreds have taken to the streets in Huanta in Peru, burning local attorney offices in protest over the death of a young man, an 18-year-old named Daniel, who was found dead days after he went missing. Several suspects were questioned by police. According to reports, the protest started as a suspect was released. Russian Defense Minister Sergei Shoigu met his Belarusian counterpart Viktor Krenin in Minsk on Saturday. The two ministers signed a document on changes to a bilateral agreement regarding the joint provision of regional military security. The Ukrainian ambassador to the Vatican is now alleging that his home in Rome was vandalized. He added that the Italian authorities were contacted. He also described the latest incidents as systematic attacks on Ukrainian missions across Europe and said all embassies and consulates have stepped up security measures. The United Nations Security Council, which is currently presided over by India, has condemned the bid to assassinate Pakistani envoy to Kabul in Afghanistan, an attack that he escaped because a guard took a bullet. For the third time in a row, Pakistan has topped the list of nations at the highest risk of experiencing mass killings, according to the latest assessment by the US think tank Early Warning Project. US troops resumed joint patrols with Kurdish-led forces in northeastern Syria on Saturday, days after they were stopped amid Turkish threats of a new ground incursion into the war-torn country. And nearly 30,000 fans celebrated together in Seoul despite freezing temperatures as the country's team bagged a big win over Portugal in the World Cup. Cameroon supporters celebrated at a fan zone in Douala as the indomitable Lions became the first ever African side to beat Brazil at a World Cup final, even though they were eliminated. Fans from Serbia and Kosovo reacted as well as Switzerland advanced to the last 16 of the World Cup for the third tournament in a row after a 3-2 win over Serbia. Germany have left their training base in Doha for the last time as they prepare to head back to their homes after their shock World Cup exit at the group stage. And Ghana fans reacted with a mixture of bitter disappointment and frustration at missed opportunities in Accra as they saw the Black Stars bow out of the Qatar World Cup following a 2-0 defeat to Uruguay, with Uruguay also exiting. And that's all in this edition of Superfast 50. But stay tuned to Republic. News and updates continue.
The mandate from the two states.
It's been a high-stakes battle for the Prime Minister.
Who will win, Gujarat and Himachal?
While the opposition was missing in action, the people have given the real mandate.
Will the BJP retain both the states? Is the Aam Aadmi Party even a factor?
Get the earliest peep into the verdict with
Republic PMark exit poll, December the 5th at 6 p.m.
Waterlogging has increased in the last 3 to 4 hours. Elphinstone station is shut, which means all those people who are hoping to go back home. When you look at that crowd, what's the message that Houston is sending out? There is also anticipation of a few announcements being made. What are your expectations when they both come up on stage? Are you expecting something big? I'm at the Jama Masjid in Bandra and there are thousands of people behind me. Why they are protesting, but the situation is pretty tense. Thousands of people that you see. 4 दिन की रिमांड है, 4 दिन की रिमांड. कुछ कहना चाहते हैं आप? पत्राचौल स्कैम, मनी लॉन्ड्रिंग का चार्ज के बारे में क्या बोलना चाहते हैं आप? As Gujarat goes to polls on the 1st of December, 89 of 182 seats will vote.
Where high voltage political battle has broken out in the state of Gujarat since the bipolarity of the state.
Will the BJP score a record victory in Gujarat? Is the Aam Aadmi Party even a factor?
Politics has been challenged for the first time. Watch the fastest updates only on India's election headquarters
on Republic TV.
आज के दिन जब दिल में दर्द है अपने जवानों की शहादत पर, उसी के साथ साथ जब ये नारे गूंजते हैं तो एक सुकून है, एक हिम्मत है। मैं इस वक्त जाफराबाद में मौजूद हूं और आप मेरे पीछे देख सकते हैं कि यहाँ पर फोर्स डिप्लॉयड है। कोशिश ये है पुलिस का।
What is it that is unique about your father's story to build the largest logistics company?
99% in the movie, it is a real-time story what has happened with us in our life. That's what been captured.
Why should a young person watch this film?
All the youngsters out there, they want to be an entrepreneur just in overnight. मतलब वो shortcut देख रहे हैं. Any business for that matter or any work for that matter और success आपको overnight नहीं आती. This is that film.
And in some news from across our borders, China has further eased COVID-19 curbs in some of its cities. The decision comes amid nationwide protests against its zero-COVID policy that has led to snap lockdowns and mass testing across China. Here's a report.
Amid massive protests against the zero-COVID policy, local Chinese authorities announced a further easing of COVID-19 curbs. Now cities like Shenzhen and Beijing no longer require negative tests to take public transport. However, a negative result obtained within the past 48 hours is still required to enter venues like shopping malls, restaurants and eateries. The slight relaxation comes despite daily virus infections reach near record high, possibly in light of the massive protests over the weekend. The government reported 33,018 domestic infections in the past 24 hours, including 29,000 with no symptoms. The rest of the world has learned to live with the virus. China remains the only major nation still sticking to a zero-COVID strategy. Agency report for Republic TV.
And in some other international news that we're tracking, local Chinese authorities have announced a further easing of COVID-19 curbs, with major cities such as Shenzhen and Beijing no longer requiring negative tests to take public transport. The capital, Beijing, earlier said that negative test results are also no longer required for public transport from the 5th of December. Still on China, what started as a small vigil in Shanghai last weekend by fewer than a dozen people grew into a rowdy crowd of hundreds hours later. The November 26 protests in Shanghai weren't the first or the largest, but were notable for the bold calls for change in China's leadership, the most public defiance of the ruling Communist Party in decades. Thousands of demonstrators representing organized labor marched in South Korea's capital, denouncing government attempts to force thousands of striking truckers back to work after they walked out in a dispute over the price of freight. Meanwhile, a spokesperson for the Confederation of Trade Unions, Han Sang-jin, has accused the government of treating truckers unfairly. The world's largest volcano continues to ooze rivers of glowing lava. The Mauna Loa awoke from its 38-year slumber on Sunday, causing volcanic ash and debris to drift down from the sky. America's newest nuclear stealth bomber made its debut after years of secret development and is part of the Pentagon's answer to rising concerns over a future conflict with China. The B-21 Raider is the first new American bomber aircraft in more than 30 years. Almost every aspect of the program is classified.
So as the United States continues to innovate, this bomber will be able to defend our country with new weapons that haven't even been invented yet. And the B-21 is multifunctional. It can handle anything from gathering intel to battle management to integrating with our allies and partners. And it will work seamlessly across domains and theaters and across the joint force.
French President Emmanuel Macron visited Louisiana, the American state most closely aligned historically with his country, to celebrate their long-standing cultural ties and discuss energy policy as well as climate change. The president was greeted by musical performers as he stepped off the plane in New Orleans and danced with them alongside his wife, Brigitte Macron. More than 2,000 experts wrapped up a week of negotiations on plastic pollution to address what even industrial leaders in plastics say is a crisis. It was the first meeting of a United Nations committee set up to draft what is intended to be a landmark treaty to bring an end to plastic pollution globally. The Biden administration placed a well-known Russian paramilitary organization on a list of religious freedom violators alongside a number of notorious terrorist organizations. The State Department has designated the Wagner Group as an entity of particular concern for its activities in the Central African Republic. Also on the list are Afghanistan's Taliban, Nigeria's Boko Haram, Somalia's Al-Shabaab, and two factions of the Islamic State group. Satellite images released by Maxa Technologies show the difference at sites in Mariupol between March and November of this year. One image shows the construction of a Russian military facility between that time frame, while another shows the destruction and later complete demolition of a residential apartment building in the district. Hundreds have taken to the streets in Huanta in Peru, burning local attorney offices in protest over the death of a young man, an 18-year-old named Daniel, who was found dead days after going missing. Several suspects were questioned by police, and according to reports, the protest started as suspect was released. And here we slip into a very short break. But in news that we're tracking throughout the day and more, a high-stakes fight and a litmus test as the Aam Aadmi Party and the BJP fight it out amid the bitter tussle that we've seen and a series of controversies. As India marks Navy Day mega celebrations in Visakhapatnam today, all the updates here on Republic. Stay with us.
What is it that is unique about your father's story to build the largest logistics company?
99% in the movie, it is a real-time story what has happened with us in our life. That's what been captured.
Why should a young person watch this film?
All the youngsters out there, they want to be an entrepreneur just in overnight. मतलब वो shortcut देख रहे हैं. Any business for that matter or any work for that matter और success आपको overnight नहीं आती. This is that film.
Pakistan that would boast to the Chinese and tell them that, we can guarantee you absolute peace in Afghanistan, build the China-Pakistan economic corridor right through the heart of Afghanistan. But in the last 1 year, more than 300 Pakistani soldiers and policemen have been killed by various factions of the Afghan Taliban and also the fearsome terrorist organization, the Tehreek-e-Taliban Pakistan. Today, Pakistan is suing for peace.
A high-voltage battle which will decide the nation's political trajectory. Who will break their records and which faces will be the winners? 89 out of the 182 seats go to polls. Stay tuned to India's election news headquarters as Gujarat goes to polls. Live coverage minute by minute all day today on Republic. The mandate from the two states.
It's been a high-stakes battle for the Prime Minister.
Who will win Gujarat and Himachal?
While the opposition was missing in action, the people have given the real mandate.
Will the BJP retain both the states? Is the Aam Aadmi Party even a factor?
Get the earliest peep into the verdict with
Republic PMark exit poll, December the 5th at 6 p.m.
Waterlogging has increased in the last 3 to 4 hours. Elphinstone station is shut, which means all those people who are hoping to go back home. When you look at that crowd, what's the message that Houston is sending out? There is also
93 seats will go for polls on December 5th as phase 2 of polls goes underway. Stay tuned to India's election news headquarters. Gujarat goes to polls. Live coverage only on Republic TV.
The headlines at this hour, it's a big battle in the national capital as Delhi goes to polls for the MCD elections in a few minutes from now. A high-stakes fight and a litmus test as AAP and the BJP fight it out amid the bitter tussle and series of controversies in the campaigning that we've seen. New Pakistan Army chief provokes India, says Pakistan armed forces are ready to take the fight back to the enemy. Summoned by the CBI in the liquor scam, KCR's daughter K. Kavita seeks complaint copy from the agency. As India marks Navy Day mega celebrations in Visakhapatnam today. Hello and welcome to this edition of This Morning. And well, as we've been showing you here on Republic, Delhi is all set for the high-stakes MCD election today. It's a three-way race between the BJP, the Aam Aadmi Party and the Congress. Nearly 1.4 crore eligible voters from 250 wards will get a chance to cast their votes in the crucial civic polls here. The voting for the polls is scheduled to be held from 8 a.m. to 5:30 p.m. Counting of votes will be undertaken on the 7th of December. Delhi State Election Commission has set up over 13,000 polling stations for the civic body polls. Nearly 40,000 police personnel, 20,000 home guards, as well as 108 companies of paramilitary and state armed police forces have been deployed to ensure smooth conduct of the polls. The elections are seeing high-pitched contests between the BJP, which currently holds the reins of the civic body in the national capital, and the AAP, the Congress, also being present. The BJP has ruled the MCD for 15 years now and is now seeking a fourth term. And joining us now is my colleague Shivangi. Shivangi, is a high-stakes political battle. We are saying it's a three-cornered contest, but there are analysts who suggest that this is just a battle between the Aam Aadmi Party and the BJP. But first of all, Shivangi, tell us about the kind of atmosphere around you, the enthusiasm. It's just about 1 hour before the polls begin.
Right, Rukma. Well, a very good morning to you and all our viewers on Republic TV. It's indeed a super Sunday because MCD polling will begin very soon at 8 a.m. onwards in Delhi. Now, one would be wondering that a civic body election, why would it be as important as a national election or not a state election? But the truth is that when it comes to day-to-day life of a Delhi citizen, the MCD plays a very, very big role. Talking about marriage registration, other issues such as water, such as sanitization. These issues are very, very important, especially in Delhi. And this MCD civic body takes care of that. Very important election. We are seeing a fierce battle, like you said, Rukma, between the BJP and the Aam Aadmi Party. The BJP will try for a consecutive term once again. A lot of controversy also has broken out. We saw kind of infighting which happened when Sandeep Dixit had accused one of his fellow congressmen of using his mother's photo in a meeting. So a lot of controversy also happening, infighting in the Congress itself just before the MCD elections. Aam Aadmi Party, once again, they are going ahead. They have the manifesto put ahead. In the manifesto, they have said that we will take care of sanitization. Garbage is a very, very big point here, election point. Remember that there are many landfills in Delhi and big garbage mountains in some areas of Delhi, which have raised a lot of concern. So that is one of the main points that is going to come up, Rukma, and to our viewers as well. And when we talk about the BJP going ahead and putting its best foot forward as well at this point of time, they're very confident that they will be able to, get more votes shared this time around. Talking about the voters, about 14.5 million voters are eligible to vote in the MCD elections. In fact, just before the voting, many Delhiites are getting phone calls about a survey. Many surveys, political parties going ahead and, calling their voters, automated messages coming, asking them what are the issues that they have in mind for it and whether they will go ahead and vote in the elections as well. So we are seeing a high-pitched battle in the MCD civic body. Now, talking about more points here, the BJP has, in fact, gone right ahead, put its right step forward. We're talking about several senior union ministers were called to the city. Many senior ministers were called to the city, including Manohar Lal Khattar. High-profile ministers were called to the city for campaigning. So this really kind of shows that how important are the MCD elections as well. The Aam Aadmi Party's campaign was led by Arvind Kejriwal, who's the chief minister. Now, this election is also important because this is the first election since the union government decided to dissolve Delhi's municipal corporation and reunify them into a single municipal corporation of Delhi. So before there were 272 wards, now there are 250 wards. That means the battle right now is for 250 wards as well. Right now, I would like, I think my colleagues are on air with us as well.
We also have with us Piyush Mishra Piyush, well, we were just listening to Shivangi. She was telling us about how high stakes a battle it is for all the parties in the fray, for all the candidates in the fray. But what about for the voters? We believe, as Republic has spoken to voters on the ground, as you have spoken to voters on the ground, well, they have told us particularly that this time they're taking the elections very seriously. Can we expect a massive voter turnout for the MCD elections this time around? After that high decibel campaigning, those bitter war of words, the controversies, the allegations and much more that we have seen in the run-up to the polls?
Well, certainly, Rukma, allegations versus counter-allegations. This is what we have seen during the course of campaigning for the elections of MCD in National Capital. Right now, I'm reporting from Patpadganj area of National Capital, where the preparations for voting have almost been done. You can see right behind me how the deployment has been done. Not only Delhi police personnel have been deployed, but also the paramilitary forces have been deployed looking at the sensitivity of this area. This is MCD, this is East Delhi area of National Capital, and here the preparations have been done. The voting will begin at 8 a.m. but before that the polling officers and the police personnel have now reached here, and all the preparations have been done. Now if we talk about this very election, we have been covering the elections in Delhi, be it about the elections of Lok Sabha or about the Legislative Assembly, but for the very first time this MCD election has now become election of prestige between Aam Aadmi Party and BJP. We have seen how BJP has been hitting out at Aam Aadmi Party, has been releasing multiple videos, multiple stings. There were a series of allegations of liquor kit, a scam, then scam in construction of schools in National Capital, and then there was a video which surfaced of Satyendra Jain. So during the course of campaigning, BJP has been leveling the allegations of corruption on Aam Aadmi Party. On the other side, Aam Aadmi Party has been raising the issue of Kuda, has been raising the issue of garbage. So it's going to be a high-pitched battle. It's going to be very important one, prestigious election for BJP. BJP claims that it is going to come back in MCD. On the other side, Aam Aadmi Party is saying that people are going to dethrone BJP because it has done a lot of corruption in the last 15 years. So allegations versus counter-allegations have surfaced throughout this. Shivangi is also getting more and more details, and right now she is also there at a very particular location. So what do you think, Shivani? What is the current status right now, and what are you expecting out of today's polling day in National Capital?
Right. Well, I just also would like to go across to our other reporters as well, and Madhurima, Tanisha, they're all with us. Piyush, like you were saying, that the BJP is going to definitely be trying to come back for another term right now. A fierce battle between the Aam Aadmi Party and the BJP. One of the big poll planks is definitely air pollution. Now, you can see the smoke in the air where we are right now. This is Delhi. This is the winter of Delhi, and this is December. Already you can see that even though the situation has improved in the past 1 or 2 weeks, but the smoke still continues to stay. I would like to go across to Madhurima first and then to my other colleague Tanisha. Madhurima, air pollution is going to be one of the most important issues, and Aam Aadmi Party has been talking about this. The BJP has been attacking Aam Aadmi Party for the past few weeks, saying that Aam Aadmi Party has not done enough to control the air pollution, especially during the winter season. Madhurima.
Well, absolutely, Shivangi, because Aam Aadmi Party has been promising a ton, but has not been even able to deliver the nominal. And this is what the Bharatiya Janata Party has been claiming throughout this election campaign, that Aam Aadmi Party and Mr. Kejriwal have the habit of making very tall promises, but at the end of the day, when it's time for delivering, there's nothing on the plate. And pollution being one of the main reasons. Once again today, the pollution level, the AQI, is in severe category. Remember, Shivangi, that this particular election is a matter of political prestige as well. Being MCD elections, we have seen that BJP starlets like Himanta Biswa Sarma, JP Nadda, to the ranks of multiple chief ministers, Jairam Ramesh Thakur, and then Jitendra Singh, all these starlets had come down to the streets of the national capital, and they combed out every nook and corner of the national capital to make sure that the vote remain intact backs to the Bharatiya Janata Party. If we talk about the statistics of the last time as well, it was the Aam Aadmi Party which emerged like a dark horse and ate from the plate of the Congress Party. However, if we talk about BJP's vote share, it remained a solid 36 to 40% even after they had governed the MCD for around 10 years. Even the third term, they even overdid their performance of 2012. Now we'll have to wait and watch as to how will the BJP manage to secure a fourth term as far as governing the MCD is concerned. However, they are very confident of the fact that they are going to perform well. But with what changes is that the Aam Aadmi Party's hold in the national capital has strengthened massively in the past, and specifically after the kind of performance the Aam Aadmi Party exuded in the state of Punjab had strengthened their political position all the more in the national capital. But we have to wait and watch as the BJP still managed to win all 7 Lok Sabha seats. It's going to be a neck-on-neck between the Aam Aadmi Party and BJP, while the Congress Party is still going to run for catching some political breath. Back to you, Shivangi.
Right. Well, like Madhurima is saying, it's election season is on right now. This election, the MCD elections, is in between the first phase of Gujarat elections and the second phase of Gujarat elections. The Gujarat elections, the second phase, is going to happen very, very soon. It's right in between that. In fact, the result today of MCD elections will be one day before the result day of the Gujarat and the Himachal Pradesh elections. Very, very important election season happening right now. Let's go straight to Tanisha. Tanisha, right now, like we were speaking about this as well, civic issues are going to be very, very important for the people of Delhi. And these elections are very important. Like we were telling our viewers some time back, the MCD sees day-to-day life of a Delhi citizen. Very important issues will be coming up. Tanisha, please tell our viewers about what will be the Delhi citizen looking forward to. What issues will they want to be addressed in this election?
Right, Shivani, a very, very good morning to you. And like you, Piyush and Madhurima was mentioning, it's going to be a high-stake battle here in Delhi. Right now, where I am is the Mount Carmel School. It's in Anand Niketan. Hardeep Singh Puri, Union Minister, will be here in just some time from now. And yes, rightly said, it's a battle where people are aiming to put the party into power at the MCD who are willing to fight at the ground level. Now remember, the major point of issues that the Congress or the BJP or specifically the AAP that has been aiming is about the garbage politics, where they say that they beautify the national capital if they come to power. Remember, they have been alleging that it is because of the BJP reign that Delhi has become a pile of garbage. Now remember, these are the several allegations. These are one of the allegations that the Aam Aadmi Party has been alleging on the BJP. The other is also about the corruption. Now remember, Delhi, the MCD polls is a concept of perception. Remember, the AAP and the BJP has been exchanging war of words on the issue of corruption, where the BJP in the past few days have held n number of press conferences where they have said that the Aam Aadmi Party has been if they come to power, they have already been corrupted, and if they come to power, the MCD will get further more corrupt. Now remember, the AAP on the other hand has been counter-claiming all of these allegations and saying it has been 15 years that the BJP has been playing corruption in the MCD polls. So it's, like I said, it's a battle of perception here as to which party the allegations and which party's claims are going to come true in the end. Now remember, Delhi has a very different power tussle, and we'll discuss all of that. It's going to be a really high-stake battle here in the national capital. Hardeep Singh Puri, Union Minister, is just expected in some time from now. Back to the studios.
Well, Tanisha, wonderful to hear from you this morning, as well as from Piyush Mishra, Piyush Ori, and my colleague Shivangi as well. It's a wonderful Delhi December morning. Coming across to you, Piyush Ori, what inputs can you give us early this morning, just about a little less than an hour to go for the polling to begin?
So good morning, Rukma, and the MCD polls are over here. The D-Day is over here. And again, we are going to be seeing a big political battle between the BJP and the Aam Aadmi Party. Not to forget that there is also Congress, which has had its reign of power in Delhi for long, but now it's going to be interesting to see that what exactly is going to be the seat distribution when the results are going to come on December 7th. Now, as Tanisha rightly pointed out, that it is all about battle of perception. While BJP is claiming that Aam Aadmi Party is a corrupt party, and if it's going to come into power in MCD, it's going to further corrupt the municipal body. The Aam Aadmi Party on its side has also played its card well, and they are focusing primarily on the cleanliness issue. Now, remember that there is a lot of concern as far as the cleanliness of Delhi is concerned, a city which has a population of 2 crore, and the 3 landfill sites, the mounting garbage at the 3 landfill sites is something which Aam Aadmi Party has definitely taken note of and is making this a big political issue. The BJP on its side is making sure that the integrity value of Aam Aadmi Party is taken sure, and has lashed out at Aam Aadmi Party over its lack of integrity. So yes, it is now going to be interesting to see that what exactly is going to be the voter turnout also, because normally what we see is that the voter turnout in MCD polls is quite less. It is normally at around 50%. So with the kind of excitement that has been built into these MCD polls, it is going to be interesting to see that what exactly is going to be the voter turnout. Back to you in the studio.
Right, Piyush, and Madhurima also with us, along with Piyush Mishra, Shivangi, Tanisha, and our reporters. It looks set to be a long day ahead for all our colleagues on the ground there, and Republic will be bringing you all the updates as they happen. The moment voting begins, it's the run-up to the mega battle for the Municipal Corporation of Delhi. Piyush Mishra joining us now with what information he has about what it looks like when it comes to the perception that the voters have for this particular polls, also the perceptions that parties have built up about each other in the voters' minds. What would be the issues that would be dominating them as they go to cast their votes today?
Well, Rukma, if we talk about the issues, those are going to be there in the mind of voters, are the issues of corruption, are the issues of garbage, because Aam Aadmi Party has raised the issue of garbage. It has said that if it comes back into the municipal body elections, then it will remove all the garbage which has accumulated there at all the corners of national capital. On the other side, BJP has been targeting Aam Aadmi Party over the issues of corruption. We have seen how every day, almost every day during the course of campaigning, BJP has released videos, sting operations. Satyendra Jain's video has also surfaced. Multiple allegations of corruption have been leveled by BJP on Aam Aadmi Party, but Aam Aadmi Party seems to be avoiding those allegations. It has always been focused on the issue of garbage and has said that these videos are not going to dent any kind of image of Aam Aadmi Party, as the people are going to vote for better cleanliness, better municipal services, because Aam Aadmi Party has been claiming that BJP in the last 15 years has not done anything. Instead, it has always been indulged into corruption. Right now, I am here at Patparganj area of national capital, which is a very important seat. From here, Manish Sisodia comes. He is MLA from Patparganj. And remember that there are many votes. Those are going to be focused, as Manish Sisodia has been claiming that he has been given a clean sheet by the agencies as far as liquor gate is concerned. So now we'll have to wait and watch how, looking at all these issues, voters are going to decide which party they are going to vote for. But yes, it is a prestigious battle between Aam Aadmi Party and BJP. My colleagues Madhurima and Tanisha are also reporting from different parts of national capital. So Madhurima, where are you right now, and what are you looking at? Has the polling begun? What kind of preparations have been done so far by the election body?
Well, Piyush, today over 13,000 polling booths have been set up, and thousands of military personnel have been put on point to make sure that these crucial MCD elections are carried out without a hitch. And these elections are going to begin at 8 a.m. sharp, when the people of the national capital will start pouring into multiple booths that have been constructed to make sure that the civic rights of the national capital remain intact. And it is is the people who exercise their franchise and make sure that the national capital gets a strong MCD. Now we'll have to wait and watch as to what really wins today. Will it be the political mettle of the Bharatiya Janata Party, as they have been claiming that for past 3 terms they have been performing well and have been executing their duties with finesse. However, the Aam Aadmi Party has been alleging that the Bharatiya Janata Party has been drenched in corruption as far as the MCD is concerned. But the Bharatiya Janata Party had accused the Aam Aadmi Party of not disbursing the funds that are designated for the MCD and their works, may it be schools, may it be sanitation. Every time in the past multiple years we have seen various strikes coming out. Even the nurses and the hospitals run by the government and are taken care by the MCD have also come forward and express their anguish regarding the mismanagement in the MCD, where the parties have continued to put the pin on the blame game at the same time, that one is not cooperating, the other says the second person is not disbursing the funds. Now there are multiple angles to it, and for that now I'll be moving towards my colleague Tanisha. Tanisha, what's happening at your end? How's the entire fervor of election? We know that it's a big deal. MCD, high stakes election, matter of political prestige for both Aam Aadmi Party and the BJP.
Rightly said, Madhurima. Well, let me tell our viewers why Delhi, especially the MCD polls, has a unique power structure. Now remember, the Aam Aadmi Party has 1/3 of the power of Delhi. Now remember, the Delhi powers are divided into 3 parts. Number 1 is which is in withhold of the state government, which comes with the electricity, water issues, health, education. These are all between the premises of the state government. The second is about the Lieutenant General, who takes control of the law and order and the bureaucracy in the state, which is generally appointed by the central government. Now the MCD polls generally take care of the sanitation, the roads and all of that problems. So remember, right now MCD and the Lieutenant General both are in central government's power, and in that case Arvind Kejriwal, the Aam Aadmi Party, the state government, has only 1/3 of Delhi's power. So it is very important for the Aam Aadmi Party to win this MCD elections in order to gain power of Delhi. Once they win the MCD elections, 2/3 of the power of Delhi will be in the state government's hand, which is the Aam Aadmi Party's hand. And then most of the decisions will be made by the ruling party in the state here. Now remember, the MCD polls were first into 3 parts: the NDMC, the SDMC and the EDMC. Now in this year, in May 2022, it was all unified. Now it is said, the BJP insiders are saying that after the unification, the BJP is now fighting as a unified unit against the Arvind Kejriwal government, and this is giving a major authority in the hands of the BJP, because remember, after the unification of the MCD, it was first trifurcated, and after the unification, it gives more power. It gives more power to the mayor, because the mayor now has almost equal powers to like that of the chief minister, which is Arvind Kejriwal. So correctly said, it's a matter of high prestige both for the BJP and the Aam Aadmi Party. The Congress seems to be limping back to normal, but it'll be very interesting to see what lies ahead in these MCD polls. The polling day is today, and 7th is when the MCD result will be declared. It'll be very interesting to see which party takes the high road. All of the details and what is going on in all the polling studios coming up next, but right after a very, very short break.
मेरी नजरों से चुना, तेरी हरकतों से सुना, कभी जीती तू, कभी मैं हारा, फिर भी खूबसूरत है ये नजारा, क्योंकि इसमें है खुला
कुछ मेरा, कुछ तुम्हारा।
अमेजिंग स्पेसेस के लिए ग्रीन लैम लैमिनेट्स, कुछ मेरा, कुछ तुम्हारा।
As Gujarat goes to polls on the 1st of December, 89 of 182 seats will vote.
Where high voltage political battle has broken out in the state of Gujarat since the bipolarity of the state.
Will the BJP score a record victory in Gujarat? Is the Aam Aadmi Party even a factor?
Politics has been challenged for the first time. Watch the fastest updates only on India's election headquarters
on Republic TV.
आज के दिन जब दिल में दर्द है अपने जवानों की शहादत पर, उसी के साथ साथ जब ये नारे गूंजते हैं तो एक सुकून है, एक हिम्मत है।
मैं इस वक्त जाफराबाद में मौजूद हूं और आप मेरे पीछे देख सकते हैं कि यहाँ पर फोर्स डिप्लॉयड है। कोशिश ये है पुलिस कर्मियों की, अर्धसैनिक बलों की कि यहाँ पर किसी तरह का कोई दंगा ना भड़क पाए।
तो आपको लगातार बता रहे हैं कि किसान कानून वापस हुए हैं और किसान कानून वापस होने के बाद सीधे किसानों के बीच पहुंची हूं और किसानों से ही बात कर रही हूं। शाहीन बाग पर बुलडोजर चलेगा। शाहीन बाग को लेकर जो राजनीति गरमाई रही वो और ज्यादा गरमाएगी, ये बिल्कुल तय है।
What is it that is unique about your father's story to build the largest logistics company?
99% in the movie, it is a real-time story what has happened with us in our life. That's what been captured.
Why should a young person watch this film?
All the youngsters out there, they want to be an entrepreneur just in overnight. मतलब वो shortcut देख रहे हैं. Any business for that matter or any work for that matter और success आपको overnight नहीं आती. This is that film.
Pakistan that would boast to the Chinese and tell them that, we can guarantee you absolute peace in Afghanistan, build the China-Pakistan economic corridor right through the heart of Afghanistan. But in the last 1 year, more than 300 Pakistani soldiers and policemen have been killed by various factions of the Afghan.
And as December 4th dawns, it's a chilly morning here in New Delhi. But breaking news already in. Minutes ahead of the Delhi MCD polls, BJP is now alleging that AAP candidates Durgesh Pathak and Vijendra Garg were caught while on an illegal campaign. BJP alleges flouting of MCC guidelines by the Aam Aadmi Party. It's the high-stakes political battle for Delhi. And even as campaigning ended on Friday, a day ahead of the polling, the allegations and counter-allegations continue to fly. The BJP now alleges the flouting of MCC guidelines by the Aam Aadmi Party. As another controversy hits the Aam Aadmi Party, let's listen in to what the BJP has to say on this matter.
अभी एक वीडियो सामने आया है जिसमें कि एमसीडी में आम आदमी पार्टी के मुख्य नेता दुर्गेश पाठक और विजेंद्र गर्ग, ये दोनों लोग रंगे हाथ पकड़े गए हैं चुनावी कैंपेन करते हुए और अवैध सामग्री बांटते हुए, अवैध कैंपेन करते हुए अभी उनको पकड़ा गया है, जबकि चुनावी कैंपेन खत्म हो चुका है। एमसीसी और चुनाव आयोग के नियम कायदे के अनुसार किसी को भी कैंपेनिंग करना ये प्रतिबंधित है, ये वर्जित है, परंतु दुर्गेश पाठक और विजेंद्र गर्ग ये दोनों मिलकर शायद कैश, शायद लिकर बांटने के लिए अपने इलाके में कैंपेनिंग करते हुए रंगे हाथ प्रशासन के द्वारा पकड़े गए हैं। यह दिखाता है कि आम आदमी पार्टी हार रही है एमसीडी के चुनाव और इसीलिए अब अवैध कैंपेनिंग, अवैध डिस्ट्रीब्यूशन ऑफ कैश एंड लिकर इस पर उतर आए हैं। हमने देखा ही है शराब घोटाले में इन्होंने करोड़ों रुपए चुनाव के लिए इकट्ठा किए हैं। इनके साथ सारी शराब की कंपनियां भी है, शराब माफिया भी है और इसीलिए शराब बांटना या अवैध कैश डिस्ट्रीब्यूशन करना ये इनके लिए कोई बड़ी बात नहीं है। इसका जवाब दुर्गेश पाठक और विजेंद्र गर्ग को देना चाहिए कि किस लिए वो रात को निकले थे।
So Durgesh Pathak and Vijendra Garg of the Aam Aadmi Party in the eye of a storm, even as the polling is set to begin in the national capital in various wards here. Going across to Piyush now. Piyush, over to you to take us through this latest controversy. It's all a matter of perception even now, minutes ahead of the polls.
Well, let me tell you that this video pertains to yesterday, and it was tweeted by BJP's Shahzad Poonawalla, and he is now saying that Durgesh Pathak and Vijendra Garg of Aam Aadmi Party have campaigned on the day when the campaigning was stopped. So now Shahzad Poonawalla is coming out and saying that it is a violation of the Model Code of Conduct because the campaigning came to an end on 3rd of December in the evening. But this video is of 4th of December in the night, and the leaders of Aam Aadmi Party are seen campaigning there, which is indeed a violation of Model Code of Conduct. Now we'll have to wait.
हम अब आने वाला है और आज के दिन जब हम सुबह अपनी दिनचर्या शुरू करेंगे तो पहले प्रभु के दरबार में जाएंगे, मंदिर मत्था टेक कर मतदान करने जाएंगे। मैं स्वयं 8:30 बजे पटेल नगर में मतदान करूंगा और दिल्ली के सभी मतदाताओं से अपील है कि देश हित में, दिल्ली के विकास के लिए और दिल्ली के नगर निगम को बेहतर बनाने का काम जो केंद्र सरकार ने किया है उसके लिए भारतीय जनता पार्टी को चुने। हमारे सभी भाई बहनों से अपील है कि दिल्ली के अंदर एक जो भारतीय जनता पार्टी के स्वच्छ प्रशासन दिया है उसको आगे बढ़ाना है और जो लोग भ्रष्टाचार किया है, जिन्होंने दिल्ली में 8 सालों में कोई विकास कार्य नहीं किया है और विकास कार्यों को रोका है, उनको जवाब देने का वक्त है। इसलिए दिल्ली के सभी नागरिकों से, मतदाताओं से अपील है कि वो अधिक से अधिक संख्या में वोट करें, भारतीय जनता पार्टी के प्रत्याशियों को जिताएं।
नगर निगम चुनाव में 54% तक का मतदान हुआ है। इस बार चूंकि वार्डों का परिसीमन भी हुआ है और 1,45,00,000 से जनसंख्या मतदाता है जो वोट भी करने वाले हैं, महिलाओं का रेशो भी अच्छा खासा है। इस बार आप कितनी उम्मीद कर रहे हैं कि परिसीमन के बाद वोट परसेंटेज में कितना इजाफा हो सकता है?
देखिए, चुनाव आयोग ने भी बहुत सारे प्रचार प्रसार किए हैं कि ज्यादा से ज्यादा लोग वोट डालें और परिसीमन के बाद बहुत से लोगों के वार्डों के एरिया बदल गए हैं तो कुछ तकलीफ हो सकती है। आज बहुत सारी शादियां भी हैं, लेकिन मेरा सबसे निवेदन है कि ज्यादा मतदान करें और मुझे पूरी उम्मीद है कि 60% से ज्यादा मतदान हो और पहले मतदान फिर जलपान, इसके साथ अगर हम करेंगे तो ज्यादा वोट पड़ेगा और ज्यादा वोट हमारे लिए अच्छा होगा। और हम चाहते हैं कि भारतीय जनता पार्टी को विजयी बनाए। वी फॉर विक्ट्री, भारतीय जनता पार्टी के प्रत्याशियों को वोट देकर विजयी बनाए। धन्यवाद।
And so the December 4th battle is all set to take off in just a few minutes from now, as the first votes are to be cast at 8 a.m. when the polling begins. The stage is set, security forces deployed all across the national capital region as the high-stakes political battle begins. While it's a matter of perception, while it's a matter of prestige, it's also about taking control of one of the richest civic bodies. And well, the question we are asking, even as the BJP is calling out to voters to come out and vote in huge numbers, our reporters, our correspondents on the ground there, bringing you all the updates, the live coverage of the high-stakes battle. Tanisha, another controversy hits the Aam Aadmi Party just a few minutes ahead of the elections. It's over to you. Well, the question we are all asking is, will the Aam Aadmi Party be able to make inroads? Remember, this is a civic body that has been controlled by one single party for more than a decade now, for 15 years, in fact. Over to you, Tanisha.
Rightly said, Rukma. Just before the polling has to start at 8 a.m. today in the morning, a major controversy has again gripped the Aam Aadmi Party, where according to the BJP, Aam Aadmi Party leader Vijendra and Durgesh Pathak can be seen in a late night campaigning, which is of course against the MCC rules. Now, because it is a MCC violation, the Aam Aadmi Party has now come out in the open and they have countered this claim by the BJP, saying it is not a video of yesterday but a video of earlier this month. Now remember, like I said, it is a battle of perception about who will actually win the perception battle here. Remember, the BJP and the Aam Aadmi Party has been claiming and counter-claiming, exchanging the war of words about the allegations on corruption. BJP on one side has released n number of videos, starting from that of Satyendra Jain. 4 videos have already been released where he's been seen lavishly living his life in the Tihar jail, whereas on the other hand, the Aam Aadmi Party has countered all the claims. Now remember, all of this is a battle of prestige and a battle of perception also, because it is at stake. According to the Aam Aadmi Party, they have not levelled any allegation charges against them. They are alleging that it is the BJP under whom corruption has taken place for 15 years. As you were telling, that it's been more than a decade, almost 15 years, that the BJP has been in the ruling MCD party. Now remember, if this battle is won by the BJP again for the 4th consecutive term, it will be a high win for the BJP, where they'll have almost half of the national capital's power. So again, it's a battle which is at high stake today. All of the polling stations have been geared up. There's security deployment already. I would like my camera person to show inside the school. We are right outside this Mount Carmel school here, where Union Minister Hardeep Singh Puri will be arriving at around 9 in the morning. Security has been beefed up so that no untoward incidents happen, because this is a battle for prestige. Back to the studios.
Right, and we also have with us Piyush Ohri. Tanisha giving us a picture there of the booth that she is particularly in. Well, there are 68 pink stations, and women in particular, Piyush Ohri, we've seen how they have been wooed by various political parties in their campaigns. Even in the run-up to the polls, women form a major chunk I know that parties are seeking to depend on as far as votes are concerned. What about this time around in the run-up to the campaigning? What were the major highlights as you witnessed?
So you rightly said, Rukma, that women voters are going to play a very key role in these MCD elections. Now, let me just give you some data. There are over 1.45 crore voters that are eligible to vote in these MCD elections, so you can understand the stakes involved. And in this, there are 66 lakh women voters that are eligible to vote. So yes, the party, the political stakeholders in this are trying to make sure that they woo the women voters. The Aam Aadmi Party on its side of winning the women voters have said that yes, they have given subsidies in electricity, water, and if they are going to come to power, they are going to make sure that they work as far as the education, health, and giving subsidies is going to be extended as far as services in the MCD polls are also concerned. The BJP on its side also have made sure in saying that through the central leadership, they have given homes to the economically weaker section groups. This in addition to highlighting that how much corruption is there on Aam Aadmi Party side. So yes, while there has been a political slugfest, there is also a battle of now, will there be issues-based issues also in the MCD polls? So as you rightly said, that besides the high political success, the both parties are also trying to win women voters on the basis of issues. And it is now going to be interesting to note on December 7th that which side will the women voters actually vote. Back to in the studio.
Well, Piyush Ohri as well as Tanisha, stay with us. We'll be right back. We are just slipping into a very short break. Meanwhile, our coverage, Republic's coverage of the mega battle for the Municipal Corporation of Delhi elections continues. Polling to begin in just a few minutes from now. Our reporters, my colleagues on the ground there, set for a long day this chilly December morning. It's the 4th of December. Parties in the fray. It's been a massive slugfest, but we'll be bringing you all the updates on polling day today, what the voters have to say, what are the issues on their minds as they go out to decide the fate of the candidates. Stay tuned to Republic TV.
A high voltage battle which will decide the nation's political trajectory. Who will break their records and which faces will be the winners? 89 out of the 182 seats go to polls. Stay tuned to India's election news headquarters as Gujarat goes to polls. Live coverage minute by minute all day today on Republic. The mandate from the two states.
It's been a high-stakes battle for the Prime Minister.
Who will win, Gujarat and Himachal?
While the opposition was missing in action, the people have given the real mandate.
Will the BJP retain both the states? Is the Aam Aadmi Party even a factor?
Get the earliest peep into the verdict with
Republic PMark exit poll, December the 5th at 6 p.m.
Waterlogging has increased in the last 3 to 4 hours. Elphinstone station is shut, which means all those people who are hoping to go back home. When you look at that crowd, what's the message that Houston is sending out? There is also anticipation of a few announcements being made. What are your expectations when they both come up on stage? Are you expecting something big? I'm at the Jama Masjid in Bandra and there are thousands of people behind me. Why they are protesting, but the situation is pretty tense. Thousands of people that you see. 4 दिन की रिमांड है, 4 दिन की रिमांड. कुछ कहना चाहते हैं आप? पत्राचौल स्कैम, मनी लॉन्ड्रिंग का चार्ज के बारे में क्या बोलना चाहते हैं आप? As Gujarat goes to polls on the 1st of December, 89 of 182 seats will vote.
Where high voltage political battle has broken out in the state of Gujarat since the bipolarity of the state.
Will the BJP score a record victory in Gujarat? Is the Aam Aadmi Party even a factor?
Politics has been challenged for the
And now let's take a look at some other national stories that we're tracking amid increased incidents of unmanned aerial vehicles bringing drugs, arms and ammunition across the border into Punjab and Jammu and Kashmir. The Indian Army is preparing to counter drones sent by Pakistan now. High-stakes Municipal Corporation of Delhi MCD polls all set to commence in a few moments from now. It's largely a three-way contest between the Aam Aadmi Party, the Bharatiya Janata Party and the Congress, in which 1,349 candidates are in the fray. As India celebrates Navy Day today, President Draupadi Murmu to attend the grand celebrations organized by the Eastern Naval Command in Visakhapatnam. Indian Navy also set to demonstrate India's combat prowess and capability through an operational demonstration today. Officials say that Safdarjung Hospital in New Delhi was under a cyber attack as it had been for AIIMS Hospital. However, the damage was not so severe. Meanwhile, the AIIMS server continues to remain down. The first meeting of the Congress Steering Committee constituted by Party Chief Mallikarjun Kharge to be held today to decide schedule and venue for its plenary session. This committee was formed in place of the Working Committee, the highest decision-making body of the Congress, after Kharge took charge as the new Congress chief. BJP on Saturday said that using abusive words against Prime Minister Modi has become a new normal for the Congress party. BJP spokesperson Sambit Patra has cited reports of Karnataka Congress leader V.S. Ugrappa calling Modi Bhasmasur, a demon in Indian mythology, to hit out at the opposition party. He noted that it comes close on the heels of Congress President Mallikarjun Kharge throwing the Ravan bark at the Prime Minister.
जब मौत का सौदागर कहा जाता है, दुर्योधन कहा जाता है, कॉकरोच कहा जाता है, चोर कहा जाता है और उसके बाद रावण और भस्मासुर कहा जाता है, तो ये कोई इत्तेफाक नहीं है। ये एक डिजाइन है जो कांग्रेस पार्टी प्रधानमंत्री जी के खिलाफ बार बार कर रही है, एक गुजराती के खिलाफ बार बार कर रही है।
Gujarat government files affidavit in the top court supporting plea seeking stringent laws on religious conversions. Gujarat government says it has passed law to stop religious conversion in the state. The affidavit also says that the right to freedom of religion does not include fundamental right to convert other people by force.
It is a high-stake battle between the BJP, the Aam Aadmi Party and the Congress for the MCD elections that's there in the national capital today. The polling is set to begin from 8 in the morning. Lots more lined up. What's going inside the polling booth? Who are the people inclined towards? All of that coming up right after a very, very short break.
मेरी नजरों से चुना, तेरी हरकतों से सुना। कभी जीती तू, कभी मैं हारा, फिर भी खूबसूरत है ये नजारा, क्योंकि इसमें है खुला
कुछ मेरा, कुछ तुम्हारा।
अमेजिंग स्पेसेस के लिए ग्रीन लैम लैमिनेट्स, कुछ मेरा, कुछ तुम्हारा।
आज के दिन जब दिल में दर्द है अपने जवानों की शहादत पर, उसी के साथ साथ जब ये नारे गूंजते हैं तो एक सुकून है, एक हिम्मत है।
मैं इस वक्त जाफराबाद में मौजूद हूं और आप मेरे पीछे देख सकते हैं कि यहाँ पर फोर्स डिप्लॉयड है। कोशिश ये है पुलिस कर्मियों की, अर्धसैनिक बलों की, कि यहाँ पर किसी तरह का कोई दंगा ना भड़क पाए।
तो आपको लगातार बता रहे हैं कि किसान कानून वापस हुए हैं और किसान कानून वापस होने के बाद सीधे किसानों के बीच पहुंची हूं और किसानों से ही बात कर रही हूं। शाहीन बाग पर बुलडोजर चलेगा। शाहीन बाग को लेकर जो राजनीति गरमाई रही वो और ज्यादा गरमाएगी, ये बिल्कुल तय है।
What is it that is unique about your father's story to build the largest logistics company?
99% in the movie, it is a real-time story what has happened with us in our life. That's what been captured in
Why should a young person watch this film?
All the youngsters out there, they want to be an entrepreneur just in overnight. मतलब वो shortcut देख रहे हैं. Any business for that matter or any work for that matter और success आपको overnight नहीं आती. This is that film.
Pakistan that would boast to the Chinese and tell them that, we can guarantee you absolute peace in Afghanistan, build the China-Pakistan economic corridor right through the heart of Afghanistan. But in the last 1 year, more than 300 Pakistani soldiers and policemen have been killed by various factions of the Afghan Taliban and also the fearsome terrorist organization, the Tehreek-e-Taliban Pakistan. Today, Pakistan is suing for peace.
A high-voltage battle which will decide the nation's political trajectory. Who will break their records and which faces will be the winners?
89 out of the 182 seats go to polls. Stay tuned to India's election news headquarters
as Gujarat goes to polls. Live coverage minute by minute all day today on Republic.
The mandate from the two states.
It's been a high stakes.
It's the battle for Delhi today and ahead of the MCD elections at 8 a.m. Aam Aadmi Party Supremo and Delhi Chief Minister Arvind Kejriwal has tweeted, and I quote, "Today there is voting to make Delhi clean and beautiful. There is voting to make a corruption-free government in the municipal corporation. My appeal to all Delhiites, do go to cast your vote today. to form an honest and working government in the Municipal Corporation of Delhi. This is a high-stakes political battle for Delhi and parties in the fray. Earlier we had seen the BJP appealing to voters to come out, calling out to voters to come out in large numbers. Now, Arvind Kejriwal, Delhi Chief Minister and convener of the Aam Aadmi Party. And Madhurima to take us through this. Madhurima, even as just a short while back, we told our viewers about that latest controversy to hit the AAP, the Aam Aadmi Party convener, Arvind Kejriwal, calling out to voters through this particular tweet. Meanwhile, also in a few minutes from now, well, we can see those visuals. Our voters already lined up. It's a very chilly Sunday morning here in New Delhi. Madhurima, over to you.
Well, absolutely. It's going to be high-stakes election of MCD, and this tweet by Mr. Arvind Kejriwal, the Chief Minister of the National Capital, right, coming just a couple of minutes ahead as the polling will begin at 8 a.m. Now, remember, Arvind Kejriwal had promised a double-engine ki sarkar, as he said that with the government in the National Capital and a government at the MCD is only going to aid the people of the National Capital. These were his claims, and he said in his tweet that select an honest government, ek imandar party ko chune. They have been claiming themselves to be kattar imandar, but at the very same time, what needs to be noticed over here is that the BJP has been flagging off multiple red flags that were attached to the hat of Aam Aadmi Party, where they kept on exposing the liquor scam. Then there were multiple videos of Satyendra Jain. Then there was school scam. Then there was scam related to the buying and purchasing of the buses of DTC. So there were multiple scams that were highlighted by the Bharatiya Janata Party, but the Arvind Kejriwal-led Aam Aadmi Party continued to pin on the fact that they are kattar imandar, and even as Mr. Satyendra Jain is inside the jail and Mr. Manish Sisodia is accused number one in the excise policy scam, Arvind Kejriwal kept on brushing it under the carpet, saying that it is nothing but political vendetta, and with the MCD polls and high-stake Gujarat polls in the corner, it is a bid of the BJP to corner the Aam Aadmi Party government with such allegations. I'll also take you to the pictures right behind me. As you can see that we are at Old Rajinder Nagar polling booth, and the people of the vicinity have started lining up. We'll move forward and show you the security details as well. And you can see that the security detail is also very high over here, as Gautam Gambhir, MP and a former cricketer, will also be coming here to cast his vote. This is the security deployment here. This is the Sarvodaya Kanya Vidyalaya over here in the vicinity of Old Rajinder Nagar, and people have started lining up to cast their vote and exercise their franchise. It's going to be a high-stake political drama today in the national capital, as the BJP and the Aam Aadmi Party are going to battle for their political prestige, less than BJP trying to retain the power of the MCD for the fourth term, and Aam Aadmi Party trying to remove the BJP from the throne of MCD, as they claim that they have more power in the national capital. But the political situation of the national capital is a bit peculiar, where in the assembly the Aam Aadmi Party holds a strong hold, but at the same time all 7 Lok Sabha seats are with the BJP. So we'll have to wait and watch, as to both the parties left no stone unturned in making all efforts so that to woo the people of the national capital, so that they can win the MCD elections. It is about performance. It is about political prestige. Gautam Gambhir will be coming here around noon. We'll have to wait and watch as to what he has to say. But the BJP has been pressing upon the fact that they are nothing but, they are honest. They have been delivering on multiple occasions, despite multiple efforts being made by the Aam Aadmi Party to make sure that the funds are not disbursed.
All these efforts have been made by the BJP, though the Aam Aadmi Party is saying that the BJP is short on delivering on promises, and the same accusation have been put forth by the Bharatiya Janata Party on the Aam Aadmi Party, that Mr. Kejriwal and the Aam Aadmi Party have the habit of making tall promises, but when it comes to delivering, they fall short on that. Now we have to see as to what really happens on the 7th, when the votes will be counted, and it will be seen as to which party really proved to be triumphant, because for the Bharatiya Janata Party it is about retaining the power, but for Mr. Arvind Kejriwal it is about proving his mettle and what he means to the people of the national capital. Stay tuned to Republic TV. We'll be right back after a very short break as high-stake MCD polls in the national capital see who will win this particular battle.
That would boast to the Chinese and tell them that, we can guarantee you absolute peace in Afghanistan, build the China-Pakistan economic corridor right through the heart of Afghanistan. But in the last 1 year, more than 300 Pakistani soldiers and policemen have been killed by various factions of the Afghan Taliban, and also the fearsome terrorist organization, the Tehreek-e-Taliban Pakistan. Today, Pakistan is suing for peace.
The mandate from the two states.
It's been a high-stakes battle for the Prime Minister.
Who will win, Gujarat and Himachal?
While the opposition was missing in action, the people have given the real mandate.
Will the BJP retain both the states? Is the Aam Aadmi Party even a factor?
Get the earliest peep into the verdict with
Republic PMark exit poll, December the 5th at 6 p.m.
Waterlogging has increased in the last 3 to 4 hours. Elphinstone station is shut, which means all those people who are hoping to go back home. When you look at that crowd, what's the message that Houston is sending out? There is also anticipation of a few announcements being made. What are your expectations when they both come up on stage? Are you expecting something big? I'm at the Jama Masjid in Bandra, and there are thousands of people behind me. Why they are protesting, but the situation is pretty tense. Thousands of people that you see. 4 दिन की रिमांड है, 4 दिन की रिमांड. कुछ कहना चाहते हैं आप? पत्राचौल स्कैम, मनी लॉन्ड्रिंग का चार्ज के बारे में क्या बोलना चाहते हैं आप? As Gujarat goes to polls on the 1st of December, 89 of 182 seats will vote.
Where high voltage political battle has broken out in the state of Gujarat since the bipolarity of the state.
Will the BJP score a record victory in Gujarat? Is the Aam Aadmi Party even a factor?
Politics has been challenged for the first time. Watch the fastest updates only on India's election headquarters
on Republic TV.
आज के दिन जब दिल में दर्द है अपने जवानों की शहादत पर, उसी के साथ साथ जब ये नारे गूंजते हैं तो एक सुकून है, एक हिम्मत है। मैं इस वक्त जाफराबाद में मौजूद हूं और आप मेरे पीछे देख सकते हैं कि यहाँ पर फोर्स डिप्लॉयड है। कोशिश ये है पुलिस कर्मियों की, अर्धसैनिक बलों की, कि यहाँ पर किसी तरह का कोई दंगा ना भड़क पाए। तो आपको लगातार बता रहे हैं कि किसान कानून वापस हुए हैं और किसान कानून वापस होने के बाद सीधे किसानों के बीच पहुंची हूं और किसानों से ही बात कर रही हूं। शाहीन बाग पर बुलडोजर चलेगा। शाहीन बाग को लेकर जो राजनीति गरमाई रही वो और ज्यादा गरमाएगी, ये बिल्कुल तय है।
What is it that is unique about your father's story to build the largest logistics company?
99.
It's a big battle in the national capital as Delhi goes to polls for the MCD elections. A high-stakes fight and a litmus test as AAP and BJP fight it out amid the bitter tussle and series of controversies. Pakistan's new army chief provokes India, says Pakistan armed forces are ready to take the fight back to the enemy. Summoned by CBI in liquor scam, KCR's daughter seeks complaint copy from the agency. As India marks Navy Day, mega celebrations in Visakhapatnam today. Welcome to the battle for Delhi. Delhi is all set for the MCD elections today. It's a three-way race between the BJP, the Aam Aadmi Party and the Congress. Nearly 1.4 crore of eligible voters from 250 wards will get a chance to cast their votes in the crucial civic polls here. The voting for the polls is scheduled to be held from 8 a.m. That's just a few minutes, or should we say seconds from now, to 5:30 p.m. The counting of the votes will be carried out on the 7th of December. Delhi State Election Commission has set up over 13,000 polling stations for the polls today. Nearly 40,000 police personnel have been deployed, among them 20,000 home guards, as well as 108 companies of paramilitary and state armed police forces have been deployed to ensure smooth conduct of the MCD polls. The elections are seeing high-pitched contests between the BJP, which currently holds the reins of the civic body in the national capital, and the Aam Aadmi Party, besides the Congress. The BJP has ruled the MCD for 15 years and is now seeking a fourth term.
आज दिल्ली में एमसीडी के लिए मतदान है और दिल्ली के 1.5 करोड़ लोग आज दिल्ली नगर निगम के लिए अपनी सरकार चुनेंगे। तो मेरी सभी 1.5 करोड़ वोटर्स से रिक्वेस्ट है, उनसे निवेदन है कि आज एमसीडी में अपना मतदान करते वक्त इस बात का ध्यान रखें कि एमसीडी का सबसे पहला काम है दिल्ली का कूड़ा साफ करना, दिल्ली के कूड़े के पहाड़ ख़त्म करना, दिल्ली में व्यापारियों को ईमानदारी से लाइसेंस देना, दिल्ली की गलियों को बनवाना, दिल्ली में अंदर की कॉलोनियों की नालियाँ गलियाँ सबको ठीक रखना, पार्कों को सुंदर रखना, ये सब एमसीडी के काम हैं। नाली, सड़क, पानी, जो पार्क हैं, ये सब एमसीडी के काम है। आवारा पशुओं से दिल्ली को साफ़ सुथरा रखना, ये सब एमसीडी के काम है। तो अपना वोट एमसीडी में यही सोच समझ कर दें कि आज आप दिल्ली को साफ़ सुथरा बनाने के लिए वोट कर रहे हैं, कूड़ा मुक्त दिल्ली बनाने के लिए वोट कर रहे हैं, कूड़े के पहाड़ हटाने के लिए वोट कर रहे हैं, एमसीडी में भ्रष्टाचार खत्म करने के लिए वोट कर रहे हैं। एमसीडी को जो उसका मेन काम है दिल्ली को स्वच्छ साफ सुंदर बनाना, उसके लिए वोट कर रहे हैं। मेरी सब वोटर्स से यही अपील है, आपके वोट के ज़रिए हम मिलकर दिल्ली को स्वच्छ बनाएंगे, सुंदर बनाएंगे।
सर, पिछले बार 54% वोटिंग हुई थी, दिल्ली वालों से ज़्यादा वोट करने की अपील करिए। रविवार का दिन है तो लोग छुट्टी का दिन ना समझें।
मैं फिर से 1.5 करोड़ वोटर से अपील करना चाहूँगा कि मतदान बहुत महत्वपूर्ण जिम्मेदारी है लोकतंत्र में जो हमको मिली है। दुनिया के बहुत सारे देशों के लोग इसके लिए तरसते हैं। हम बहुत सौभाग्यशाली हैं कि बाबा साहब अम्बेडकर की वजह से हम सबको ये अधिकार मिला हुआ है कि हम मतदान दे सकें और अपनी सरकार चुन सकें। इसमें बिल्कुल भी आलस्य ना करें और इसको उतना ही ज़रूरी समझें जितना हमारी ज़िंदगी के और काम हैं। आपके मतदान की बदौलत ही दिल्ली साफ सुंदर बनेगी।
एक और सर बदलाव है, परिसीमन के बाद ये पहला चुनाव है दिल्ली।
परिसीमन इन्होंने भारतीय जनता पार्टी ने कराया, लेकिन मुझे लगता है कि इन सब के बावजूद आज दिल्ली मन बना चुकी है कि जो कूड़ा उनकी गलियों में दिखता है, जो कूड़े के पहाड़ दिखते हैं, सब पर इस बार झाड़ू चलाएगी दिल्ली।
272 से 250 सीट हो जाना नुकसान देख रहे हैं आप?
नहीं, ये तो इससे कोई फ़र्क नहीं पड़ता है। लोगों को अल्टीमेटली अपनी गलियां साफ़ चाहिए। 15 साल से भारतीय जनता पार्टी ने कोई साफ़ सफाई नहीं कराई, कूड़े के पहाड़ दिए, हर तरफ गंदगी फैलाई। तो पूरी तरह से फेल भारतीय जनता पार्टी पे इस बार जनता झाड़ू चलाना चाहती है। वो 250 वार्ड में भी और 272 वार्ड में भी लोगों को तो अपनी सफाई चाहिए।
सर, कैंपेन किस तरह से देखते हैं? बीजेपी के बड़े कद्दावर नेता उतरे, पूरा नेगेटिव प्रचार है।
नहीं, भारतीय जनता पार्टी के पास क्योंकि 15 साल की विफलता थी, 15 साल में अब लोग ये पूछ रहे थे उससे कि भाई आपने काम क्या किया, तो इसलिए लोग भारतीय जनता पार्टी के पास कुछ कहने के लिए नहीं था, कोई जवाब नहीं था, तो उन्होंने नेगेटिव कैंपेनिंग की। हमारे पास में ये था कि केजरीवाल जी को जो जिम्मेदारी दिल्ली की जनता ने दिल्ली सरकार बनाते वक्त दी थी, वो सारे काम केजरीवाल जी ने किए। तो अब एमसीडी वाले सारे काम भी केजरीवाल जी करवाएंगे जब दिल्ली की जनता वोट करेगी।
लगता है सर मिनी पार्षद का जो 11वीं गारंटी थी वो बहुत आकर्षक थी वोटर्स के बीच में।
देखिए आरडब्ल्यूएज सारी की सारी मिनी पार्षद के रूप में ही काम करती रही हैं और जब भारतीय जनता पार्टी पूरी तरह से फेल रही है तो एमसीडी में भारतीय जनता पार्टी के फेलियर की भरपाई अपने अपने क्षेत्र में लोगों ने आरडब्ल्यूएस बना के की अपने इलाके की साफ सफाई और व्यवस्था देखने के लिए। तो आगे जब केजरीवाल जी की गवर्नेंस इसमें चलेगी एमसीडी में तो आरडब्ल्यूएस को मिनी पार्षद की ऑफिशियल भूमिका में रखा जाएगा। थैंक यू
सर। आइए
All right, viewers. So Manish Sisodia speaking there as well, and you know it's a very, very important day today. MCD polls 8 a.m. 8 a.m. is when the polling began. There was a long line here where I am, and the voters have gone inside. Now this polling station is very special. You can have a look at it. If you have a very close look at the polling station, you can see it's completely pink. Now this is a welcome to pink polling station. It says that welcome to pink polling station, my vote, my future. And if my camera person VJ Manish can show there, this is, it says clearly on the board, model polling station and pink polling station. This polling station is completely run by women. You can see that right over there. There are women there, women security there as well, completely run by women. The aim is to make sure that women feel safe enough to come and vote in large numbers. This is also a model polling station. That means that amenities as well for polling, like water, like washrooms are available. Now, somebody just voted right now and she's very proudly showing her inked finger. आपने अभी वोट किया है?
हाँ जी वोट किए हैं।
और आप by the way we are in the Punjabi Bak extension area and आपका क्या मुद्दे हैं? Which are the important issues you want government address करें?
हम लोग के मोदी और योगी जैसा नेता चाहिए। मोदी और योगी जैसा नेता चाहिए।
All right, okay, thank you. So, you know, the first voter has just come out right now. She's the first voter here. She is very happy and enthusiastic after voting as well. And like I was telling our viewers, the MCD elections, one would think that you know, these elections might not be as high level as state elections or even national elections, but MCD elections are very important because they really play an important role in a day-to-day life of a Delhi citizen. So it's very important. In fact, I'm being joined by my colleagues as well. I have Piyush, I have Madhurima, and I also have Tanisha with me as well. Let's go across to Tanisha first. Tanisha, where are you right now? And the voting must have started where you are. Just take us through what's happening.
Right, Shivangi, we are right now at the Anand Vihar extension, and where we are right now is this Mount Carmel school where Union Minister Hardeep Singh Puri is supposed to reach here around 9 a.m. in the morning to cast his vote here. Now remember, as you were pointing out, it's a battle of prestige. It's a battle of high stake at the MCD polls. The Aam Aadmi Party, if it wins, it has so much more to gain, but if it loses, it will gain. It will lose all the prestige that is had, because remember, Aam Aadmi Party right now has 1/3 of the power of Delhi right now, and MCD is right now with the BJP. And remember, BJP has been ruling the MCD for about 15 years now, more than a decade. And if they win this war, the battle of perception, the battle of prestige will be won by the BJP. But it'll be more awaited, it'll be more interesting to watch this time, because the inclination seems to be towards the Aam Aadmi Party. We did talk to one of the voters here. A few of the voters have already gone inside. Remember, 8 a.m. is the time when the polling had begun, and it will continue till 5:30 in the evening, and we'll have a slew of voters here voting on different issues. One of them will of course be the air pollution, the air quality of Delhi, which is worsening day by day. Remember, yesterday it was in the very poor category. Today also, when I was having a look at the air quality, it is still in the very poor category. So air pollution is one of the major issues that the people of Delhi will be voting for. The other is of course the